Hey everyone, welcome to Burke Bunch Renos. We are renovating the house and we are in the middle of a big project. So little bits and pieces here and there. We are working on finishing up the wall units. They have been painted. We're going to do a rebuild of the one in the other room. But right now we are installing recessed lighting. We're going to add 6 pot lights in here. The mom's been busy measuring where they should be on the floor. She's got little paper circles. You can see those. Those show you where the lights are going to go. We're using those to kind of measure it all out. The lights we'll be installing will actually be recessed LED lights, kind of like pot lights, but LED, saving on energy. It's really bright. Ah, there we go. Thank you, Yogi. All right, so this is the ones we are using. Illum Ultra Slim. We were going to use these ones, but Yogi's going to have to take those back. Yogi, grab the car keys, take those back to Home Depot, okay? Thank you. Because we're going to use these, the Ultra Slim. The advantage of the Ultra Slim is that it's literally ultra slim. It is ½ an inch. That is the size of the drywall. So when you're putting it up into the ceiling joist, you don't have to worry about ducting being in the way, things like that. We can actually even cross a joist and this will still work. Little box here goes with it. This gets tucked up into the ceiling joist and plugs into it. First step is going to be to run some 14-2 wire from this corner, from that outlet, all the way up, and cut a big chunk of drywall out, and then we're going to go up into the ceiling. The advantage is that the top half is controlled by this switch. So we're going to swap this switch out with an ELV low voltage dimmer, swap out the receptacle so that it is always powered on, and those pot lights are going to be going right there, 6 of them. Take the floor, imagine it on the ceiling. I've marked out the wall where I'm going to cut out a chunk so I can run my wires. I've made it fairly big. I bridged 2 studs so that it'll be a little bit easier for me to reach in there and do stuff. It also allows me to screw in 2 different spots and make it nice and tight when I'm resealing it. Once you've cut out your wall piece, if you're having trouble pulling out drywall, just put a screw in, or if it's small enough that it doesn't bridge the studs and you're worried about it falling in, and then you can just pull it out. Another cool trick, if you're having trouble pulling out your wall piece that you've cut, you might have a screw still in it, so use a handy dandy neodymium, that kind of magnet to find the screw, and then you can just chip away at the plaster and unscrew it. And there's one right there. Make drywalling repair easier. You get a lot of fluff on here from the drywall saw, so I like to just take my knife, run it down to create sort of a groove that the spackle can fit into nice and easily. Makes repair a lot easier. Now with all power off, of course, the builder's put in a plastic box, so I am going to have to cut above to be able to get the wire fished down and into that box. More cutting, a little more mess. Now on this one, it wasn't coming out. So take the magnet, there's the screw. Chip away where the screw is. And take it out, don't damage my piece. Okay, to fish the wire, these are really handy. It's a little fiberglass fish stick, glows in the dark, so you can see it in a wall cavity, and they actually screw together. This one's mid-flex, you can get high flex or low flex, so we're gonna shove that down and try to hook a wire. There they are, glowing in the dark. It's like a lightsaber. Zoom. Okay, that's too much, too expensive. You're fooling around with that. Stop it. Now I'm just going to tape this to the fish. Pull the wire back up. Nice. Now using a spade bit, we're going to drill through this stud so I can reach up into the ceiling and start feeding the wire down the ceiling to the first recessed light. Next step, we've got the wire started. We're going to have to put the holes in for the recessed lighting. Then the magic begins. Okay, the mom has come up with a brilliant idea to keep the dust from our hole saw down because we have to cut 6 holes in the ceiling and that will make a lot of dust.
So my idea was to put the drill, or at least the drill bit, in a bag. So we used a piece of a trim kit from the bigger pot lights that we have. So we've taped a bag around it and we'll hold that up against the ceiling. The drill bit will be in here and whatever dust is created from the drill bit will be trapped in the bag.
Nice. All 6 holes cut with a minimal amount of mess. Good idea by the mom. With the help of the fish and the fact that the vent goes up here, I was able to feed the wire up. I just get a little hook on the wire and then pull it down. So now I've got everything ready for the first recessed light. Sweet. Now to get power back in this part of the house, I need to get this outlet on. So I'm going to take the top wires and I'm going to join them to this wire coming from up above the lights. That's switch controlled. And I'm going to swap out this outlet for one that's got a bridge that's not broken so that both outlets will run off the bottom wire, give it power. Now what we're going to do is feed with the fish wire pieces from hole to hole all the way around. So then we can wire in the little boxes that go with the flush mount LEDs. And there it is. The little boxes that come with the LED lights have a little punch out. Push the other side through. Wire grommet goes on one end. Wire grommet goes on the other. Then this part plugs onto the main part of the light. So a wired box looks like that. Snap it shut. Mount it up in the hole there. And there's the wire. The outlet is now wired. It is independent, doesn't run off the switch. The switch is now controlling these wires, which run up to the ceiling where all the recessed lights are going. When I put the drywall in place, it was bulging out here as I screwed it into the studs. So I put in a splint, easy trick to do. Just scrap piece of wood, screw in one side, and then I'll screw in the other side, and it will make the joint nice and flush. See that bulging out? Now for the final touch, to install the super thin recessed LED light. It just plugs in here. Feed the cord up, and then these little springs will pop it into place and keep it in the hole. And there you go. Okay, the final step is this Lutron low voltage dimmer. This fine beast here. And swap it out with the switch that was there. Then we should be able to dim the lights. And like it says, switch returns your light to your favorite level. Okay, time for the grand reveal. The mom is gonna hit the switch. Now we'll find out if they all work. Oh, bright, dim, bright. And that's how you install ultra slim LED recessed lighting. the whole process. Hopefully this helps you. Please stay tuned for more renos because we're kind of doing a refresh of the house. So Burke Bunch TV is the place you want to be. See you next time. We have light.